Nancy is a young, beautiful girl. Her skin was like glass beauty that makes head turn, but Nancy wasn't ordinary. She came from an ancestry of the marine kingdom unknowing to her. Only her mother knew Nancy was a princess in the marine world. Though beautiful, Nancy was humble and was loved by everyone. When she got ripe for marriage, suitors started flocking in. She was left with options to choose. She chose Max. Max was a young, promising man. He was in the military. He had fell in love with Nancy right from when she was a teenager and was pleased to be getting married to her. After their marriage, Max rose in ranks in the military. Within a short period of time, he became a senior and respected officer in the military, and he became wealthy. Nancy started having miscarriages. Years passed without them having a child. Max was under pressure from his family to get a second wife or at least get a child outside wedlock to continue his legacy, as legacy was very important to the Igbo culture, regardless of marital vows. They had been married for 20 years without a child. Nancy had spent a lot on fake prophets and doctors on solution, but no result. One time she met a doctor who charged her millions, gave her injections to inflate her tummy, making her think she was pregnant. This injection stopped her period flow, and he gave her strong warning not to go to another hospital. Nancy carried this false pregnancy for a year and 6 months until her husband persuaded her to try another clinic for medical observation. This exposed the tricks of the previous doctor. No pregnancy was detected. This made Nancy very depressed. She decided to give in to her mother, advised to accompany her to see a marine priest. It was revealed to her that she already had children in the marine world and won't be able to conceive physically. She had tiny marks on her cheeks, which was given to her as a label of where she came from. She was also told she was the reason for her husband's success, and the only condition she would be able to bear a child is to die while giving birth to the child. Her mother has been making sacrifice to the marine deity since she was born. She was also told she would have to continue the sacrifice if her mother is no more, else her life and that of her husband's life on earth would be very miserable. Nancy, who was a strong believer of God, became confused. She was angry at her mother for carrying out such sacrifice on her behalf without her consent. She made a decision. She pleaded with her husband to allow them adopt a child because of how primitive her in-laws were. They tried to hide the fact that it was adoption. They agreed they were going to act like she was pregnant so that the child can be accepted by his family. Nancy stayed indoor for 9 months. They arranged with a pregnant lady who didn't want to keep the child. They confirmed it was a male child before making arrangements. During this period, Max's sister came uninvited for a visit. Max had to look for a way to make her leave, as her visit would jeopardize their plan. When the lady who was pregnant gave birth, they paid her off, brought the child in, and started calling their families to inform them of their baby's arrival. It was a mixed feeling for friends, family, ESP, the neighbors, because they didn't see her pregnant. The rumor started. Max's sister, who came visiting unannounced, told the kinsman that Nancy was never pregnant when she visited, and insisted the child isn't for her brother. Max's sister had to visit again to see the child who they claimed to have given birth to. Her suspicion grew when Nancy couldn't breastfeed the child. "Why are you feeding a newborn baby cow milk when a mother is alive and healthy?" she roared. Neighbors and friends offered to help bathe her like they culturally do to a woman who just had a child, but Nancy refused, insisting she doesn't need help. This further grew suspicion and fueled the rumors. Nancy's mother was down with illness, so she couldn't come at the time of the arrival of their child. Max decided to relocate his family to another area, built a house in her name so they can raise their child away from the gossip and rumor of their neighbors. Max got posted to the south for a temporary service but was later made to be a permanent service. He promised Nancy to bring them over after he had completed the house he was building in the south, as he was staying in the office quarters. Max later bowed to pressure by his family and has a child out of wedlock. What do you think would happen next? Watch out for part 2.